Welcome to episode 7 of The Master Bodybuilder. I'm your host, Ron Eddington. I got an email from Joel in Ohio. First, Joel, thanks for being the first email that I've gotten at The Master Bodybuilder. I plan to do a competition in September of this year. Well, Joel, this is what I make sure that I take with me. It's not necessarily what you would need, but I think you'll get the idea of what I take. First and most important, I take an extra pair of posing trunks. You're going to need one for the main show and for the evening show. You never know when you'll need an extra pair. Things do happen. Now the ladies have an extra suit and theirs are a lot more expensive than ours. Extra contacts if you wear contacts. Like I said, things do happen. Next, I would take 2 or 3 old towels so not to get your tan spray on anything. And also make sure you take a couple of extra sheets with you, dark ones, if you're staying in a hotel. You don't want to pay for destroyed sheets. Next, I'd make sure I take a sewing kit, just in case. You never know when it will come in handy. You're going to also need water to drink, distilled water, and drinking cups. You don't want to be trying to drink out of a water fountain. Bring your own water. That way you know it's okay. I would bring some food, some protein, and some quick release carbs like candy bars. My favorite is chocolate bars. You know, like Hershey's. It's always good. It gets in your system quick. Take that 30 minutes or so before you go on stage. Pump your muscles up. Give you a little extra energy. Keep you going. Next, take you some grooming supplies. Combs, mirrors, etc. Some clear, non-yellowing deodorant. You don't want to be the stinky one. Next, take some very loose jogs, shirts, so not to rub your tan off. You're going to pay $150 or so for a tanning session. You don't want to be rubbing it off. Next, take some sandals. Flip-flops, okay. Sandals, flip-flops to protect the bottom of your feet. Most of the time backstage, it's going to be okay. Normal floors, but you want to protect your feet. Then there's your music for your show. Make sure you take 2 copies just in case one goes bad, they lose one. You've always got one. You also need some money and a charge card to pay for things like your tanning, your MPC card, and anything else that might happen. And don't forget to have someone there to take pictures. You will want to remember this day forever. I can't emphasize enough to have somebody there to take your pictures. Myself, when I go on vacation, I come back a week vacation, I might have 200 to 1,000 pictures. I edit through the ones, get rid of a lot of them. I have plenty of pictures. I always have good memories. I will also take I will also take a small fan. It does get hot backstage. There are many other things to bring, but that is what I take. You're going to need more if you're staying overnight. Like I said earlier, some dark sheets so not to stain the sheets of the host hotel. And then one thing that I take that most will forget, it's a folding chair. You look backstage at a show and people that are sitting down relaxing, they're sitting on their towels, they're sitting on the floor. Take you a folding chair. It'll make it a lot more easier. Sometimes you'll have a long wait and you just want to be the one standing around all day, end up with weak legs because of standing for a long time, and you will be waiting. Now this is what I take, but make up your own mind, and if you think of something else, just bring it. It's better to be prepared and over-prepared than under-prepared. But please don't have your earbuds or earplugs in your ears and not hear the person call your class and miss your call and miss going on stage. I have seen this happen, and it is not a happy feeling. Remember, you're there to learn. It's always a learning session. Remember, look, see what's going on. Listen, there's going to be a person backstage calling, getting groups ready. You don't want to miss it. Ask questions if you're not sure. But like I said, don't have your earplugs in. Now, if you have any questions or comments or an idea about a topic to talk about in a later show, now email me at masterbodybuilder1951@gmail.com. That's masterbodybuilder1951@gmail.com. Okay, folks, now we have a second email from Joel. No, excuse me. Okay, folks, now we have an email from Jack in Tennessee. Joel and Jack. It's JJ Day. Okay, I'll stop the joking around and get with it. Jack asks, is there any natural bodybuilding shows, competitions in Tennessee? Well, Jack, I can only recall 2 competitions in Tennessee right off the top of my head. The first is in Memphis, the NANBF. It's a North American Natural Bodybuilding Federation. I believe there's a show there in October of this year. And if you don't get the one this year, there'll be one approximately the same time next year. Then the OCB has a show in Nashville area around April. Both shows now are drug tested. Don't be the one that taking you some stuff and you try to get away with it, because you won't. Now, this is not to say that this is the only 2 shows around. It's just the only ones I can recall off the top of my head. You can also check for the states that you are near. If you're living down around Kentucky, if you're living down around Chattanooga in the southern part of the states, you can check Georgia, Alabama, depending on where you're from. If you're living in the northern parts, you can always check Kentucky, western part, Arkansas, eastern part, you got the Carolinas, and you've got Virginia. I know there's at least 1 or 2 in North Carolina. That I do recall right off the top of my head. Now, I hope this will help. But like I said, that's the only ones I can think of. Just do your own research. Go online. Check her out. Now, folks, if you like this channel, then please hit the subscribe button and the like button. Even leave a comment. By subscribing, you will be notified of any new episodes, and you will help to keep this channel going for years to come. Well, that's it for this episode. I only have one thing to say. Remember, put your hands on the bar and pump your muscles. Later, folks.